Play. I was asked by Sam
The name from one of the
to write. Yeah, and I specialise. Just to give you a quick update, and it's been really well received. One of the things.
challenge for me.
Hello everyone and welcome back to In the Studio. We're very excited to return for season 2 here. I think it's been about 3 weeks, nearly a month since series 1 ended, and we've kind of utilised this time in a very productive way to really dig deep and think about what we wanted the next season to be about, and how we can kind of dig deeper into the ethos of JumpCut Studios and what we try and achieve all the time, which kind of brings me to the kind of motto of the company, the mantra of the company, if you like, which is connect, collaborate and create. Obviously what we do all the time on Twitter and through these videos as well is connect with people as much as possible. We love connecting with other creatives and sharing experiences and knowledge and skills and stories. Then obviously the next step of that is to collaborate with people as much as possible. So that's where all of our wonderful guests come in that we introduce onto these videos, and obviously in a wider sense as well, like on a production level as well. We want to collaborate with as many different people as possible and kind of diversify and enrich all the stories that we tell with as many different voices as possible. So a little bit about what we plan to do for this series, a wonderful idea from Sam, which is to kind of catalogue all the different stages of the filmmaking process that we do, and that all of our fellow creatives do as well, to some degree. So season 2 is going to be all about screenwriting and the script and how important a good script is. So this season we're going to talk you through the planning stages, feedback, editing, the different kind of forums and connections that you can make to help improve your scripts, and then kind of just recognising when a script is done and what to do with it next. I'd say the biggest thing that we've been up to as a team is twofold really. We've obviously welcomed Billy Rogan into the team, which is amazing, really exciting. We were looking for someone else to bring into the fold, and Billy was the absolute obvious choice for that. In the year and a bit that I've known Billy and that the team has kind of worked with her, it's just been a pleasure, and we knew that she was on the same kind of wavelength for what we were looking for. So we're really excited to work with Billy more closely. And as a kind of wider unit, we've also initiated a bit of a writer's room, which was kind of mine, Nick's and Corey's idea, mainly just because of how much we struggle with writing. It's a very, very difficult process for everyone, I'm sure. If it's easy, then please tell us your secret. But yeah, we just kind of, throughout this whole lockdown period, and I think season 1 emphasised that, is how much we've struggled with writer's block and motivation and just wanting to get going on writing but struggling with that. And I think we all have kind of common issues with our writing that we try and help each other with as much as possible. I have worked on one script in the last month since we left series 1. So me and Sam have been working on a little bit of a secret project that we're looking to work on with a couple of actors. We've done the first draft of this very, very short script, only 5 pages. Very, very simple project of just 2 locations, 2 actors. And we're now working with those actors to kind of workshop that script and get it up to a shooting script.
Hi guys, my name's Billy and I am the newest member of the JumpCut Studios team, and I can't wait to get going. It's so important to me to have collaborators that have the same morals and viewpoints as me in the industry, and I found that with JumpCut Studios, and I can't wait, once we're allowed to start making things again, to get going with this team. I'm also the director of I Love You Guys, and I spoke about that a couple of episodes ago, so if you want to go back and see what we're getting up to during lockdown, then you can go and watch that episode. So the thing we're talking about today is writing, which is something that I've had to rediscover and re-fall in love with throughout this time. Because I was such a random writer, like I would just write while I was out on the tube or just out for the day or traveling. I'm sure every writer can relate that they just have that one random page in their notes on their phone which just would only make sense to them. It's just a bunch of random ideas, quotes, scene ideas. And so having to be inside and not out on the go has kind of forced me to have a real writing process. So for me, where that starts is with a pre-production file, and that is something now that like I don't think I could ever write another piece without this, because I'm a super visual writer. And so for me, once I have like loads of ideas in my head, if I'm just going straight in with the script, then I don't get all of those ideas down. I just kind of have to compile them from these random notes. But with pre-production files, it allows me to have mood boards, playlists, character ideas, synopsis, beats, everything in one place. And then it means that once I get going on the dialogue, which is my favorite part about writing, that I don't have to keep coming back and editing the story and getting lost. And I think that's been really helpful with actually getting things done, which I know that we have spoken a lot about between us, is that one of our favorite things to do is to start a script and then get halfway through and be like, you know what? I'm just gonna write something else. And we've all done it, we're all guilty of it, but this has just been a really great way for me to kind of finish projects. And so far during the last few weeks or so, I have managed to get like a very base first draft of 2 different films, and I'm just now writing my third, which I think is my favourite so far. And it's kind of bittersweet because I really want to shoot it. I can really see it in my head and I just want to get on set and actually get it out to the world, but I'm fine with that. It gives me more time to edit, it gives me more time to have people read it and tell me what's wrong with it. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a strange time to write or be a writer, but also a really interesting one because I've just found new ways to enjoy it. Something that's been really important for me actually is finding new mediums to enjoy. So I have always been very like film based, but recently I've got really into graphic design, photography, looking at paintings, stuff that I wouldn't usually incorporate into my work. I've kind of started to enjoy pursuing because it's kind of one of those creative mediums that you can be bad at and not feel like you have to be good at it and that everything you produce has to be great. And so for me, finding mediums that I'm not necessarily good in has been really helpful to my writing process because it's allowed me to go away, be creative elsewhere, and then come back when I've found the energy to write again. And I think throughout this time, while things have been changing and we've been seeing a lot of uncertainty, just writing things that you really love or are really passionate about is what will get you to the end draft, or at least that's what's been really helpful for me. And so there are loads of different people in this video who will tell you their writing process and you can pick and choose which one you want to take from. But yeah, it's just it's a hard time but a good time to be creative.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to In the Studio Season 2. Exciting times, and glad to have you back, glad to see you all. Hope you're all doing well. I apologise about the noise, I've got the window open to mix, it's quite warm. Yeah, so with this season, Jacob's already mentioned it earlier in the video, we're trying a bit of a different format going forward. So this season's got somewhat of a theme, and we're going to be looking at screenwriting in particular this season, and all the kind of ins and outs of writing your script, writer's block, getting your ideas kind of from your head onto the page, and how to overcome obstacles in that regard. And we're all facing different problems to do with it all the time. Admittedly, I'm not the most kind of like on it kind of writer. I'm not always writing. My kind of creativity lies more within kind of like the video editing and stuff like that I do for JumpCut. So this is going to be an interesting challenge actually, doing this season of In the Studio, to kind of push myself to get into that kind of world a bit more, and I'm really excited to be doing so. And yeah, I'm just glad to be back doing another season of In the Studio. I'm glad that the episodes we've done so far have been received really well, and I hope that we're still doing something that provides a creative kind of insight into things that we're doing for a production company at our kind of scale and creatives at our level within the industry. So I hope it's still helpful and fun, as always. So with that being said, let's carry on with the episode.
Hey everybody, I'm Corey. I kind of feel an awkward need to introduce myself again, as I've not really done a lot of these, but I wrote I Love You Guys, which, all being well, will still be filming eventually this year, as long as it's safe to do so. So yeah, that was quite a rough writing experience for me personally, because I've never written anything to be made before, so that brought a whole new level of pressure. And yeah, I ended up in a place where I was exhausted, really hated everything about my writing and just didn't want to do it anymore. But eventually I kind of realised I just needed to take a little bit of a break. I've actually read the script again since then, and it's okay. But yeah, ultimately that is something that is finally done and dusted, being taken forward by an amazing team, and I'm now free to kind of take on some new stuff. So over the last few weeks I've been writing a short film called The Harvest, which is, I guess you'd say, a new take on zombies. It's not something I'm really that fussed about taking forward any further. I just needed to kind of prove I can still tell a story, still know how to use characters right, and yeah, I ticked the boxes I wanted to there, so that was good. I'm also very, very shortly going to be starting up a blog devoted to storytelling. The basic focus is going to be the heart and soul of stories, why do we connect in the way that we do, kind of inspired by The Last of Us and responses to The Last of Us Part 2, but I'll get into that at another time. Yeah, and then more sort of storytelling, script writing wise, I am working on a couple of things at the moment which aren't really at a level to talk about, other than that they're going to probably be quite dark. But I'm excited about those, and all being well, you'll be able to hear more of them soon. I think just the main thing really focusing me going forwards now is character. And this is kind of a quote which has stuck with me that I will inevitably make a mess of. But I read it the other day from Sid Field, where he talks about how character is the essential internal foundation of your screenplay, the cornerstone, the heart, the soul, the nervous system, and basically you can't write anything unless you know your character. And it really kind of struck a chord with me, because there's a few ideas I've been really excited about, kind of like premises or worlds to explore, and when it's come down to actually write them, I've got nowhere, and now I kind of realise it's because my characters weren't very good. So that's something I'm really looking to get better at going forwards, and yeah, I'm excited to see how I do.
Another thing that I've been working very closely on over the last month or so is, as I say, obviously connecting with other people is a massive part of what I do on a daily basis. It's a big passion of mine, and I've really tried to kind of branch that out even more lately, and communicate with a lot of different filmmakers. And what we've been really keen to do, and again part of the kind of the mantra of the company in general, is to breed new talent and emerging filmmakers and give them that platform and an opportunity to create. And that's something that I'm very excited to say that we've been developing in the last month or so. I've connected with a couple of probably 4 directors that we haven't worked with before, a couple that I've spoke to before but not in great detail, and we're looking to develop projects with those, and new screenwriters as well that I haven't really spoke to before, and we found some very exciting stories that we're going to be putting forward. And I guess that kind of ties into everything that we're talking about in this series, which is obviously we've got some scripts, we've got some writers, we've got some directors, and it's all about, writing doesn't just start and end with a writer. It's all about a collaborative process, and a very long process, to be honest. From the very spark of an idea to getting that idea absolutely concrete and ready to shoot is a very long but exciting process, and we are in various stages of that with different projects. And I think that first stage that we're at right now with obviously the few stories and directors that we've recently joined forces with, is very, very exciting, and we'll be talking through those projects and those processes in a lot more detail as the episodes go on throughout this season. So hopefully you might learn a little bit more about the projects that are coming up in the pipeline that we haven't really shared a lot about yet, but mainly that's just because they're not at a shareable level just yet. So you might, if you're watching this season all the way through, you'll see some nice little secrets come out, hopefully.